Nothing to do with that. Like, just forgot to bring something. Like,
So Chuck and Wade are both stuck on the purple line, which is not moving. So what are you doing, Brett?
The oven.
Okay. We can try it out. Yeah. Here's my extra pocket. I think you're looking at it.
I can sing out too.
I don't know where Kitty is.
I can sing out too.
I just need to warm up a little more. I can sing out too. No. I can sing alto down.
Yeah, that gives
You
everything.
you sing alto? You think it's such a high voice?
Did you want to wait on any more people? Or
What?
Did you want to wait on any more people, or just you know?
Let's
Really? No.
let's wait for Chuck. Let me see. Let me write to him and see what he is. Okay.
What piece are you on?
Oh my gosh, I got the young Alice is such a bad news. I like seriously. It's amazing.
Chuck's trapped on a train.
Well, you know us, and we're not.
Actually, I'm kind of in a bad mood today.
I've literally everything I've seen so far in my life is in a terrible mood, and I think it's partly the fact that the sun just has not come out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's.
I think there's only been 6 days so far in January that it's actually come out, and
One of the nice things to make up for it, you know, like the snow.
and there's no
Exactly.
snow, right?
It's just like dreary.
Yeah. I was at Walmart last night and I wanted to buy a sun lamp and they didn't have any, and so I was about to flip out. I need this.
What kind of store is
What do you mean you don't have
Can't you see that I
this?
need this like every other person who obviously bought out the sun lamps?
You're the problem. We need this. You're not supplying.
I'm sure it's hard. I don't have a sun lamp. I live in a cave.
You live in a cave, like you don't have any windows in your house.
Sort of.
This is the time of the year where I'm so thankful I have a dog because I have to go out and walk outside like an hour a day, no matter what.
Yeah.
And it just makes a huge difference with like your mood. She's this mutt dog. I'll show you.
Did you ever, I went to the graduate school, but undergrad one, did you want to bring your dog around to check that?
Oh my god,
Did
yeah.
you get service in here?
At one bar.
Well, we're talking about having an event during reading week.
Did you want me to check out check?
I
She's
think
really
mine
friendly.
went, but I don't know if I'll
She's
get
really
mine
like,
back.
like she jumps on people. So
No,
people
you
are
free
afraid of
service.
dogs.
Oh, actually no, but yeah, I can get an iMessage out to him. Just for double check.
She was pathetic.
Oh, that's right. Mine's working because I'm on.
Isn't she cute?
Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah. I have a cat too. Right.
I can only imagine the amount of stress Chuck is undergoing right
Did you
now.
guys see on Facebook? Those
Because this-
ones are really good.
Because like I've had coachings with him where it's been like an hour late because just the purple line stops with him on it.
It's snake and a mouse.
And he just shows up and that happens
Mouse
later.
in a cage with snake teeth, and like 5 days later, now they're best friends, and it shows like the mouse is sleeping on top of the snake, and they're like snuggled
Oh
together.
my gosh, that's amazing.
It's so cute.
Nature.
Jacob, what are you conducting?
Oh my.
Okay.
So these banana muffins are also a Martha Stewart recipe, and these ones are very
And
good.
did they work?
Yeah,
Wait, did it taste
So it
like
really, it's
they're good. No, they don't taste like shortbread. They're gooey and delicious.
and the comments didn't say like that it smelled like a horse ass.
no, no death threats.
Okay. Right. About how like we can't waste our valuable resources.
You can't waste the four ingredients.
We're on a fixed income and we can't waste our valuable resources making cookies that taste like horse ass. Yeah, the internet's a scary place.
It is. It's like the wild
There's
west.
one. So
There's one person who's on a train.
Oh, don't die. I've never been in here before.
oh really? It's new and improved. It's much better.
Yeah, it's not like
Chuck, you're alive. Yeah.
And not technical.
Yeah.
This is a red house.
Stop being so. Jamie,
What are you doing?
we're mad. Hi, Maria.
I tried to defend you.
We were so worried.
I didn't have.
Yeah,
have
honestly,
the quality to
yeah.
think about these story guys, but I should have. I did not.
Like people pass by us and you're like, do you know Dan? Are you friends with Dan?
We're in scope.
Have you heard from Dan today?
Oh no, I walked up to them as they were waiting. I thought they were like, "Do you know Dan?" I'm like, "How you know him?" That's what they were.
He tells them it's a teacher when. It's Dan's buddy.
All right, we are at the Ave Maria and with Brett. And let's treat this first round as a Saturday morning warm up. Well, we won't judge ourselves by the nature of the singing.
Yeah.
Probably. So we have no options. So
Do you want the men to go down a row?
Yeah, that would be good.
I'm just realizing this feels very disconnected.
Hannah, are you gonna sing out there? Thank you.
Oh.
Good. Let's go back. See, you know, it's so interesting. You really, well, I think it's so interesting because you like, it's so, you know the music so well, and like it's really clearly good. Like that's all, you know. But
Here we go.
But here we go.
Here we go.
But here we
The whole
go.
point
What's it gonna
Here we go.
What's it gonna be today?
But part of it is that, you know, you like at the very beginning, you didn't look at the people who were singing, you know.
I know.
Well, okay, can you fix that?
Yeah.
All right, let's fix that. Do you know what I mean? Because you're gonna like, yeah. The very few times I've had to stop performances in the middle of something, a piece of music in the middle of a performance, was almost always because of that. Because the choir was so shocked that I had looked at the wrong section that they just like I started the Low Ding Heron from Zing a Ding Heron, you know, Zing Zing. But we talked about that yesterday. So Low Ding Heron. I looked at choir. It starts with choir 2, and I looked at choir, or the other way around. Yeah, I looked at choir 1 and went, and
Oh
and they're like, and then they're over here. They're going, and it's just like literally just like, and then I just went. And we all just like laughed for the first 2 minutes of it. At any rate, it is important because what happened was you kind of like just look straight forward, and that turns us all off when we start staring at it. Okay, so let's start there.
Okay.
The point, the goal here is to try to get your gesture and you to bring out all that stuff that I hear you listening, that I see you listening for.
Yeah.
Here. Okay. All right. Let's start there. Can the stand come down at all? Yeah. Is that? I mean, is it? Well, it doesn't need to be that low, but
It's a little low.
yeah, that's better. That's much better. Yeah. It's just a little high because then that means if you keep it that high, it means that then you're going to be conducting up here, and that means we're going to sing up here, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. So, all right. Good. That's accomplished.
Too much.
Too much. Yes. Yeah, because now that it's sort of it looks like you're trying to get a dog to sing. You know? Come on, get up here on this bed. Come on. Yeah. All right. So somewhere between the two of them. Okay. This is the next thing, okay? So I like some of what you've done with the gesture because of what we talked about the last time. There's 2 things I think we need to work on here. One is, and this is the universal issue here, is what is a breath that invites people to sing, okay? So you were indicating a kind of like breath like this, but I use the word indicating on purpose, okay? That's the word we use in drama when somebody is kind of saying like, I'm so upset, just so upset. And you're going like, no, you're not. Like that's you know, you're just faking it. You're just indicating what it's like to be upset. Because people that are upset fight that away and they go like, I'm fine, I'm gonna be fine. It's all right. Just go on. That's what we do when we're upset. So to indicate anything other than that, I mean, we're talking about Western culture things, okay?
Yeah.
It's different in each culture.
Yeah.
So the same thing happens with us when we do a breath, because we have this feeling like I have to show a breath, right? But you've heard me say over and over and over again, just take the breath that it takes to sing this thing. So if you're in your practice room going, and singing the part, then you're going to take that breath really naturally. I want you to take that breath, and this time through, I want you to take that breath for all 4 of the entrances. I'm not sure you need to do that for every single entrance in every piece. You know, I don't do that for every single. But for this as an exercise, I want you to do that really easy breath. But before we do that, everybody's going to sing the soprano line in their own octave, and you're going to sing it as well.
Okay.
Okay. It's so much better, okay? Do it again. I want you to feel what it's like, okay? And sing with us again, okay? Okay, yeah. So we got this part. We got this part working, okay? Now we're gonna get this part working. Because these are not lined up with what this is doing. So excuse me. In fact, they're moving at different speeds, and you're not aware of it, okay?
Right.
So it's not unusual. You know, it happens all the time. So all these have to do is mirror that breath, okay? So if you're gonna take an upbeat to bring us in on 1. And what's happening is you're going, it's sort of around the beat a little bit because these don't actually have a real feeling of a pendulum, okay? They're like this. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that pendulum is really important. Why? Remind me why? Why is the weight of the beat drop really important?
Shows us when it's in the kid's tempo.
Yeah, wait, what?
Shows us where the time is.
Yeah, I mean, it's because humans calculate everything by speed. And if this speed isn't actually where you want the beat to be, then it becomes amorphous. But if drop, 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 and connect it with so that's probably, so first of all, mirror me once, okay? Just first watch. So I'm not having a whole lot of ictus. Yeah, that beat 2 is better. But see now, here's the difference. This is what you're doing. Your beat 2, this is very basic, but it's very important.
Yeah.
Your beat 2 doesn't have quite enough room in it. Watch, it goes like this. See what I'm saying?
I see.
And my beat 2 goes like this. It really has almost the same amount of motion and space as your beat, as beat 1. Can you mirror me? And 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's better. What's happening is my playing is here and I'm going 1, 2, 1, and your playing seems to, you sweep it. You go, so I still don't know where the beat is. Understand? Okay. But this is not what we need. Because that's ictus, but it's not relevant.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it again. Space after 2, space after, hit, come out, hit, come out. So I want you to, beat 1 needs to come down. Okay? It can't go like that. Your beat 1 is going like this. Okay? Let's bring it down. 1. Great. Now we're going to do it again. And 1. Right. Now we're going to add 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now I want more rebound. I want you to feel this, okay? I want more rebound. 1, 2, 1. Feel the rebound?
Yeah.
It really is like a ball.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had brought my Super Bowl with me because the thing about this is that the Super Bowl is that Kevin bought me a Super Bowl and I didn't bring it with me. But the thing about the Super Bowl, and I'll get it later, is that you have to rebound because you have to catch the ball when it's coming up. Yeah. But with more sweep. Don't add the hand thing. Okay, do it again. More rebound on beat 2. Down, not out, down, down, down. Okay, now can you sweep a little bit more still? So we're legato, okay? 1, 2, 1. Now we're gonna breathe and 1, 2. And we're gonna breathe again. 1. Now we're not gonna clench up when we breathe. 2, and then we're gonna do it again. 1, 2. Now we're gonna do it with our mouth and say Ave. Ave. Yeah, yes. Okay, good. Let's use that, okay? Good.
We are back to our regular program.
Well, it's really physical, but it's really necessary. Okay.
Everyone else soprano still?
No, let's break it up. Better. What are you thinking about when you're conducting?
To be 1,000% honest, this piece is a little bit hard in terms of thinking about it as opposed to when I was conducting the Brahms, because for me, when I was conducting the Brahms, I felt like the music was so specific in where the certain phrases were isolated and where things were coming in. And with this, with Renaissance music, there's so much going on in terms of the canons and like the repeated notes, and it's just this overall wall of sound that dynamically it feels like with the Brahms you could go here, you go here. With this, it's very straight line, very. I don't want to use the word pedestrian as like a bad thing. Not pedestrian. No.
I don't think that's accurate. It's a good thing.
Chuck is looking at me because he's heard me say before that if Joss Candler was living, I'd probably get a divorce and try to marry him. I love Joss Candler.
I will use a different word. I can't think of it. It's very like it just keeps moving across like this.
This is great. It's so funny that this is coming. These questions are coming out at the very end of the unit because this is so valuable to talk about. You're right. And then you look at the page and go like, but it's all like white notes. It's really easy. There's nothing really going on, right? And then you start to conduct it and you go like, what do I do?
Exactly.
There's just so many people doing different things, you know? That's part of what honestly, that's part of what I think the miracle of this music is, right? This guy had 4 voices that he was using, and he had very limited ranges, Very seldom was he going to go above like an F for the sopranos. Wasn't going to go above a G, below a G for, Really, really limited resources, okay? And in terms of composition, and yet they create something that has all of this nuance and texture and incredibly sophisticated, even though I know I use the word pedestrian because the emotional context is much more reliant on each of the voices, whereas with Brahms provides this harmonic thing that creates big picture emotional things. And I was thinking about this morning, actually. And I need to look this up, or have somebody do some research on it to see if there have been. I read a book called Emotion and Music once that I thought was total crap. But I was hoping would address this issue. Why is it? Have we done studies about why it is that Western people brought up in Western culture seem to understand what harmonic movement means? That seem to have a reaction when something has a certain motion, and it's real. And of course, musicians who are trained, have more reaction, obviously because there's even more stuff firing off in their brains, But it's really, really interesting to me. And this doesn't. This is all based on the rhetoric of the voices, which means that you can't actually do all that much. But why I stopped was not related to that, okay? And I asked you what you were thinking of. Because what you can do is provide shape to phrase based on the information you give at the beginning of the phrase and what you do during the phrase. So when you get to letter A, for example, and we go, Ave cuius conceptio. I'm not singing the right pitch, sorry. Ave cuius conceptio. Yeah. So the breath that you give us here, look at me. Ave cuius conceptio. Because we naturally want to feel that long note and the messa di voce in the long note. But you had stopped breathing. That's why I stopped. You had stopped breathing, and to that point, you'd kind of rescinded into completely cognitive brain activity about all the stuff that's going on in the room. I think that's what sort of we're talking about. There has to be I think there needs to be a physicality about both the breath and the gesture. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So let's start at letter A, and let's just let's tenor sing soprano and bass sing alto, so that we're not just all sitting here. And let's just work on this phrase here, this 4-bar phrase, and see what you can do to get this phrase to work. You know?
Okay.
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 Good. Now keep it in 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Do it again.
I tried to go with where the phrase was going, and then
You can
screwed
do-
up the time.
Right. You can
The way
do
that
that,
I
but it
did
has
it.
to be with motion. It has to do with speed in here, not with
Yeah.
changing the division that you're
That's what I
conducting.
did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get a little ahead of us too because you're trying to get that effect. So this is good, Brett. This is exactly what the work that we need to do. Okay. So you take the breath and you go. So I'm gonna move ahead of them a little bit.
Yeah.
Then I have to make up for that time.
Right.
So watch me again. See, what you're doing is kind of a really quick jerky motion, and I'm using inside the beat motion. Don't change the beat. Okay? Like your instinct is right, but if you do that, you're going down the rabbit hole. You will never get out. Okay. Same thing with the Britain. Do not conduct notes in those pieces. Conduct beats. All right. It's against the rules. Right. Well, you see this all the time with like junior high teachers, you know, where they're like the whole I feel like civilization has collapsed for them, and they've been reduced to like conducting each note that happens on the page, you know, and it's just a trap because then everything is just notey and nobody's really enjoying themselves. But anyway, watch me once. So I'm not changing a lot.
Yeah.
I'm changing size of beat to get them to go, ah. Okay?
Okay.
Do it with me. Okay. Right there, I can't really do that. Do you understand what you're doing?
No, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. Do it again.
I just can't.
You can. Of course you can. It takes practice. Yeah, so again. And 1. You see? You can. I knew you could. Let's do it again. Good. Now we're going to do it with more confidence. Right?
With feeling.
Oh, maybe that's a little later. Let's do it again. And you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's analyze
I
this.
felt it here when I was trying to get the gesture to be bigger during that.
Let's analyze this. What exactly am I doing during this line to shape it? What exactly am I doing? Connor?
I mean, you're varying the speed in between the beats, but
Yeah.
still maintaining.
What were we going to say?
You do this nice gesture with your left hand that's still in the time. Like you're always saying the left hand gestures should be still in the tempo and in the beat. I thought that was nice too.
So the point I'm trying to make is that this music, I think, requires a certain amount of elasticity. So we sing really linearly. And that's why I'm not going to do that, okay? let's try this with the basses, with the altos, and etc. Okay. Back to the duet. Letter A. These seats are so low, aren't they?
That's why I'm
Yes.
sitting up like this, because I was like in the fetus position otherwise.
Wait, isn't it
fetal.
fetal?
It's really.
That's it.
Fetus position is a whole different thing.
Everyone's like,
Really? I was like, he's just a fetus. That's weird. Okay, letter A. No, you need to give us beat one. Okay. That's better. That's better.
It was kind of there, but not really.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
feels a little. It feels like kind of ultra physical to you,
Yeah.
but it doesn't to us. It doesn't look that way to us. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it again. Good. All right. Let's go. Let's do our own parts and go on. Now here's the thing. When you get them to cadence on O, then you bring the guys into the same thing and you do the same thing. Okay.
Right.
All right. Let's do it. Okay. But I want you to breathe for them. Okay? You kind of just look at them and go, and I really think, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And you do it for the women, but you're not doing it for the men.
I only breathe for the ladies.
Hey, Chuck, fetus. It's a good thing I can't see you for them muffins. And breathe. Yes. So good. That's a big moment. That's a big moment. Because when you breathe, the speed of your gesture is correct. Okay? You went, and it slowed down like we needed to. Yeah?
Always breathe, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. You always breathe.
Well, yeah.
Do it again.
That too.
And it is one of those mornings. I made the mistake to suggest to Stephen this morning that we had to get to Knoxville from Philly, and the plane tickets are really, really expensive. I don't want the crossing spending like a lot of money on this one. So I made a mistake suggesting that we take the train to Charlotte, which is 11 hours, which I think would be really fun. Well, apparently, I'm the only one who thinks it would be really fun. Not taking the train to Charlotte. That's okay. So it is one of those mornings, yes. Woo! Letter A. Okay, so there's a lot of there's if you compare that to the beginning of your conducting today, you're going to see a big difference. What I do want to impress on you, that I think something that we need to work on together, is how to get your hands to be more. You know, I actually, have you ever conducted with a baton?
That's all I've ever done.
Let me suggest that you go back to the beginning and do it again and use the baton.
I haven't conducted the baton in a long time, but that's all I've ever done. Yeah.
So why am I asking him to do this?
He's put more point in the beat.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, your hands get in the way of the beat because they have a tendency, they have like a life of their own. It's the thing I was saying with it, when you split somebody's hemispheres,
Yeah.
they don't talk to each other. It's not that bad, but they have a tendency to go like this, okay? And that negates
I can imagine that.
all of that information about what the speed of the beat is because you've got this going on one thing, but then this is sort of following along. So I'm gonna put a baton in your hand for the point of putting point at the end of the stick. That's already better, okay? Now, the purpose is not to go like, okay, then you're just a guy who always has to use a baton. The purpose is for you to feel what it's like in your hand to have that consistency of point, yeah? Okay. Oh, we're at the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah. A little bit more consistency of beat. Good, good. Good. When I said more consistency of beat, you got much, much better. It is interesting. The baton has helped some, but your wrist really goes. So this time through, I just want you to be aware of it.
Okay.
Okay, it doesn't need to be locked, but it really does move around a lot, even with the pencil in your hand. And I need to discipline you about that. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't try to get you to break that. Okay.
Yeah.
Do it again. Sopranos. And now the altos. What's your wrist doing? Yeah, okay, good. So in your practice, I want you to break things down, okay? And I do want you to practice. I want you to spend 5 minutes on wrist. Okay? What's my wrist doing? I want you to spend 5 minutes on what's my breath doing. And I want you to spend 5 minutes on what's the speed of the gesture and how does that, is it a consistent legato, okay? And then I want you to put those together and see how much you can, through practice, through daily practice, get them to work involuntarily. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
See if you can get this here. This part of it needs to work somewhat involuntarily, okay? When you know, and again, most of us are still at the beat. We've only had at the most 25 hours of conducting, okay? So 25 hours conducted does not make this involuntary, okay? Hundreds of hours of conducting, I don't think about it, okay? Hundreds of hours of conducting, then you just get up and you start doing other stuff, all right? But that's the goal, is that you want to get to the point where this is somewhat involuntary. You can think about listen. You can think about all that other stuff that goes on. Okay. Good. All right. You got a lot of information on that tape. So I really suggest that you look at it because you're not gonna notice the wrist thing until I start bitching about it. Okay. And then you're gonna go, oh yeah, I see what he said. I see what he means. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. I'll take that. Jacob, I think you're up. And we're doing Omanu. Do you like it? Here's another question, and there's no right or wrong answer to that. Do you like the music, the Ave Maria?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious because if it's kind of new to us when we're looking at how to conduct it. Put it this way, it's just really easy for us to say the things that are hard to say we don't like them. You know what I mean?
I found writing a motet to be the most frustrating experience ever.
Yeah.
You're
How to get
shooting for a Renaissance counterpoint.
how to get this stuff to work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Jacob. That was
Like
awesome.
the worst sight reading I've ever done. Just now.
No, it was just awesome because she did she sang a real tonal answer octave. It was just really awesome.
I didn't really like what he was doing there.
And what was
Changed
and what's
it.
great about it was that you were singing in fourths with Chuck. So I don't think that's bad. I think it's amazing. Let's go back. Okay, and look, we're getting used to singing again this morning. You're getting used to hearing all that stuff come at you.
Yeah.
Good. What would you like to change?
I want to make a more clear difference between the moment from measure 9, where the imitation starts in the second group of people, and 16 and 19. Like I want it to be like one moment, the next moment, and then the biggest moment.
Okay, good. I can see in your gesture a lot of information that is very, very subtle. I can see it because I'm not singing. I'm just sitting here watching you like a hawk, okay? And so I'm going like, oh, I see. He wants to do this thing, but he's not actually doing that thing.
Gotcha.
He's kind of being reserved about that thing, okay? So why don't you not worry about, like, for a minute, don't worry about decorum, okay? Just get what you want.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Cool. From the beginning.
So the sopranos are over there. The sopranos are over there.
What was the thing you said? Don't worry about blank, just get what you want. Decorum. Okay.
You like that as a 3-syllable word?
Oh, I just didn't.
Just ramping up there.
Very
You know what I
fancy.
mean?
Feeling pretty university.
Try it. Wait, it's a major research institute, right? You're allowed to say stuff like that. Right? It's got a med school and a law school, right? Okay. My point is, you know, again, it's not enough to just kind of look at the choir. You need to look at the people who are going to sing, okay? And the funny thing is that you've done all the 3 times you've started the piece, you've done that, and then somewhere like around the 4th bar, you start looking at all of the sections. So I can't quite figure that out.
Okay.
Okay. Good. So I'm going to let you. So there may be people sitting here going like, "No, wait, hold on. If I did that, he'd yell at me." Okay, but because you're not having any trouble with kind of like a consistency of beat.
Okay.
In fact, in the face of disaster at one point in the first run, you just kept going.
Yeah.
So good. That's a good thing. There's the instincts that you have about this are right.
Okay.
How to accomplish them, you're not quite lined up technically about them.
Okay.
I'm going to say, let's go back again, because I want to see more of those instincts, and then I can help you to refine them a little bit. Okay. The one thing I would ask, at Ut Animalia, where we just were at 19 to 20, okay? No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. 16 to 17 at Admirabile, where you want a big change there, right?
Yeah.
Now, what are you trying to do time-wise there?
I want a bit of a break between beats 3 and 4 and 16, just to indicate that this is like a little mini coda to this intro section.
Can you sing with Chuck playing at Admirabile in the soprano? Play it in tenor range. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is bar 15. Just the soprano. Conduct and sing exactly what you want. Et admirabile, et ad. I want to see exactly what you want.
Okay.
One. Okay, so that's good, because I was worried that you wanted to add too much time. Because in Renaissance music, we have to really be careful that we can take a breath and we can stretch the top, but we shouldn't add beats. There's a
Okay.
difference. So great, fine. As long as you don't want to add a beat, that's great. Now, the problem that you're having is it's what we were talking about with Danielle yesterday. You were here, right?
Yeah.
It's not how the next phrase is initiated, it's how the one before it ends.
Okay.
Because right now, if we do exactly what you're doing, we're gonna go et admirabile et admi. Okay.
Okay.
Which the animals suddenly becoming very, very,
Yeah. Okay.
stalls. So it has to do with the breath. Watch. Okay. So this is what I think you want. Et admirabile et admi. It's the breath, right? It's where that happens. How deep is it, and how much intention do you have? Watch again. Et admirabile et admirabile. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that what you want?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, because if it's not, tell me.
No, it is. I'm just not sure how you're getting it, if that makes sense.
Well,
Like, I see that you are, but I don't know what it is that's...
can we all do, can we just start right there on the downbeat to 15, everybody singing. 3. That was not a very good demonstration. Let's do it again.
We're all in our parts.
All in your parts,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And
Yeah.
how am I getting you to make that big change?
You're opening up more.
I'm opening up more. And yes, and
Small to bigger and move more.
all true. and
There's a bit of that like movement in between.
yes, and let's do it again.
We're skirting
Let's
around
do
the
it again.
points.
Okay. 3 and. And
Show us the text inflection. There was the negation of the phrase at the end, and then you.
You smiled and made eye
yes! Jesus, you're difficult. Well, it's hard.
Students
Okay.
overthink everything.
I was like,
Mostly you're doing it just because I'm saying, and admired and worshipped or whatever, and admired and admired. That because that's the gesture, right? Yes, we all come together for the first time. We say, yes, this is what happened that night, right? So a lot of it is, and this is part of what I was saying. See, wanting to do all these things, there's a bit of reserve, and you don't have to be reserved like that. Okay. Okay. So let's go back to. Entries of the tenors, and everybody then just join us, okay? Entries of the tenors. Oh my gosh, I almost lost my big ears. Ear tattoo. I love my ears.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did.
Whoa! Is this available to
Just in
everyone?
case there's an emergency, like in the clean top.
Here we
No.
go.
That's right. I got it.
You could still
It's like we can find our way out.
Sorry, everybody.
One at a time, please.
So I guess please exit the premises. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Yeah, yeah.
People are like outside if it comes up and also.
No, I bought it.
I was at your text anyway.
Yeah, no, I bought it. No. Okay, so entrance of the tenors, and then everybody join us at the next entrance on bar 10. Yeah?
Bar 10?
We're starting,
Bar
tenors are starting on bar 8.
Oh, okay.
You're going to breathe on the downbeat. We're going to come in on 2. That's It's already 100 times better.
Yeah.
Okay? We go back.
Turns out fine.
Patience, you know what? Patients are great if they make you smile like that, because as soon as you smile, we start going like, oh, this is fun. Singing is fun. What a fun thing to do, to sing. Okay?
Sing please.
Mm-hmm. Good. It's better and better. That wasn't as communicative because you literally, one of the reasons that it was so communicative before was because you were laughing at yourself. So you were just Jacob. Jacob's in the room. Jacob's gonna breathe. We're all gonna do that with you, okay? But this time you were more serious about it, and I do understand that you're sort of. I also think that you're going for a certain kind of mood in the line, which is good, but let you be the person. Like, you need to be in the room. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you play something when you were younger that was other than percussion? No?
I mean, piano, but.
How long?
4 or 5 years. Maybe.
Okay, that explains it. Fine.
What does it mean?
Because you're not, sorry, you're like, it's clear to me that you have some other training besides percussion. So, when you sit in auditions and you listen to people sing over and over and over, I have listened to thousands of, I don't know how many thousands, for opera companies in Wales, opera companies in here, I was at the opera company in Philadelphia for 11 years before I even moved to Wales. So I've heard so many people sing. And you begin to go, that person's a cellist. That person's definitely a flute player. That person's clearly a keyboardist. And you can just tell like how they think about music. So
what are some of the signs for those?
Oh, it's so complicated to go into. I mean, I really someday I should do a video thing on it.
You should just write a book.
Yeah, but it's very interesting. Cellists, for example, they have a very, very clear sense of pitch, like how they move. Pitch is different than other people, and I can't explain to you why.
Even specific different than a violinist or violist.
Yes,
That's interesting.
It's very interesting. So, at any rate, that explains something to me, which is a good thing. Fine. Not that there's anything wrong with percussionists,
Because
but
percussionists
Oh,
are dumb.
that's why.
there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with percussionists. It's just that you're not listening to this in the way that someone who's never played a harmonic instrument is. Which is not to say that mallets aren't harmonic. They are, but you don't think about them that way when you're playing them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're supposed to.
I know you're supposed to. Yeah. 8 again, with you in the room. So I want to talk about the technical thing, and then I want to come back and do something else, okay? The technical thing is that there's a limit. Are you trying to move the tempo forward there?
Yes.
Okay. Stylistically, there's a limit to how much you can do that in this music, or should, okay?
Okay.
I was talking to Dr. Pinzano about this yesterday because he went to CCM for his doctorate. And so I did a master class at CCM for conductors. And this one conductor got up and they conducted this bird, the cradle from a bird's nest. And every single section of it, so it's in a bunch of sections, it's so long, he did like at a different tempo. And I was sitting there going like, doing it. And so I finally said, so on what basis are you making these tempo decisions? Because the talk in Renaissance music, I'm sorry, but it is regular. That you have some sort of shifts this way or that, but it's a basic talk, you know, particularly within a movement, you know. And he said to me, that's just sort of how I felt it, which of course is not the answer to that. All right, that is not the answer. All right, you have to, you know. And I sort of said to him, what happened to scholarship? Like what, like,
Yeah.
you know, like what? So afterwards, I asked the teacher. Now this is the part that doesn't leave the room. I asked the teacher. I said, so why would this person make this decision? And the teacher said, oh, we don't really get into like interpretive stuff like that. I think it's basically technique. My head like went. Because the whole part of teaching conducting has to be point of view, right? It has to be, how does the conductor come to the podium with a point of view that is based on fact, okay, or as much fact as possible, and as much study as possible to say, this is what I think Brahms is doing. So when I stand on the podium and say, this is what I want, it's not because this is what I want. It's because this is what I think Brahms is doing, okay? So you have to be careful about, in Renaissance music, about wanting to move the talk way ahead or way back. Yes, phrase, absolutely fine. But if you're actually trying to go, ut animalia, I think that you're what happens is, and this is why I feel really strongly about this, is that it puts an unnecessary pressure on the music. That if 4 people are standing around singing this with no conductor, which again, we're conducting music that probably wasn't for the most part conducted. Although, you know, the papal choir obviously had a conductor, right? So they were very rich and they had more singers, okay? But for the average court at the time, you're probably talking about 4 singers standing around singing with somebody going, so once that talk is in the room, the talk is in the room. Okay? I was going to say one other thing about it. If you put on that pressure of changing tempos, I think you run the risk of changing one of the things that we were talking about with Brett, the kind of beauty of the simple complexity of the music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's something simple and there's something complex. And it's very beautiful how they come together. But the reason that they come together is because of the talk, because the regularity of the talk, seriously, okay? So I would be careful about that. Okay. But phrase the crap out of it within the tempo. Right. Now, I want to go back and I want to do the same thing again, Jacob, and I want you to mouth the words. Whatever part, etc. But I want you to be mouthing the words. You happen to be shaping the basses a lot, so yeah, mouth their words. Okay. There's a reason why I'm doing this. Okay. No, breathe on the down. So I actually didn't gain out of that what I was hoping I would gain.
Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's not neither good or bad. It means I'm not a good teacher. I can't tell whether all of the action is happening here, and again, you have very definitive ideas, and I think they're right. I think the musical ideas are right. But I can't tell whether you think that the mystery and wonderfulness of this sacrament is a good thing or a bad thing. And I don't know whether the animals are, I'm not sure what the animals think. I'm not sure whether they're in wonder or whether they're in happiness or whether they're in reverence or what. What I'm getting is that everything is very solemn and very prayerful.
Okay.
Is that your intention?
No. Well, no. But no.
Okay.
That was helpful. No, it's not. So I can do more with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I want to do it again. All right, good. Okay, so there was a moment.
Yeah.
There was a moment where you really got underneath the sound and you were in it and it was all there. So I don't know if this is the right comment to make or not. I get the impression that you think this music is really, truly great.
Yes.
Can you not treat it that way?
Yeah. I see what you mean. I do think that.
I do, but so do I. But I feel a little bit like you, while we're singing, you're wondering, like you're in wonder about the music itself. Like you kind of go, this thing, and there's this thing that you do where you're going, this is so beautiful. And I think we would benefit from you just making music. Just be Vittoria.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because Vittoria, I don't think sat there. Composers don't sit there and think this is so beautiful. That's the death of their piece. They sit there and they go, I have a problem to solve, and when I solve it with emotional context, maybe if I can get the counterpoint right, I get all this stuff lined up. And that's exactly the cadence. So take a slightly different way of setting the same text because I'm not done with that yet, rhetorically. And you get to the end of it, and you go, I'm satisfied. It's largely craft.
Okay.
And so I'm bugging you about being more emotional in the room, but at the same time, I don't want you to be emotional about the quality of the music. I want you to be emotional about what we're doing. About the context of it. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a teeny tiny fine line.
Yeah.
Don't worship the art when you're making the art. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's do it again. Good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Bring us in at O Beata. Can that be more on the breath?
More on the breath.
No, can it be more? Oh, again, you're doing everything with your gesture instead of actually using you.
Okay.
Right? Stop. Do it again. You're thinking about something else. Do it again. Good. Do that section one more time. We need to stop in a minute, but I want you to get what you want out of this. And
Yeah. This section, it's interesting because I wasn't entirely sure what to make of this section. When I was just.
Well, what happens at this moment at 40?
It feels much more delicate. I mean, obviously they're all in unison. The motion just seems less. I'm just not sure where between 40 and 53.
So in this moment, Victoria does it. He tricks us. We think we think the listener thinks we're going to hear him homophonic, and instead he madrigalizes the word virgin, which is abstract, of course. I mean, how would you describe a virgin in music? I don't know. But he takes it and he makes it this beautiful, delicate, curly line in the basses, and then duet between the basses. So we get him, you're right, very delicate, and then back to, and then if you want to go as far as to say madrigalization again, you could even say that this is the babe leaping in the womb. But you don't have to say that. You can say that it's just her joy. Or you can say that it's our joy, or whatever. But again, he takes this and he goes, wait, and then, portare, and then more, do, mi, and then he does the sign of the cross. Standard in music for years and years. The sign of the cross. So that's what's going on in the music, all right? So your job is to create this kind of like beautiful prayer, and then let the energy go.
Okay.
And then the beautiful prayer, and then let the energy go. Yeah?
Yeah.
Try that. And then folks, you can always ask to talk about sections of music. You know what I mean? If something eludes you, just say, this eludes me. Look, can we talk about this? That's absolutely fine. Because I've sung this, I've been singing this piece again longer than you guys have been alive. Okay? So I have a little bit of insight into it, that you're not going to have yet. Maybe some of you, but you instinctively have it. You don't quite, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was wondering, so where the basses have their gauge and increase and
Yeah.
50, that's the cross note?
Yeah, and I don't have a chalkboard right here to show you, but in Baroque music, in particular, we'll see this on Monday when we talk about the Herford analysis. There's this standard way in which they made the sign of a cross what's the name of the music that's graphic, that pictorial? I can't remember. Anyway, so if you go either up, down a leap, and back, you get this thing that goes like this, that if you then draw a line this way, it makes a cross. So here, if you go down, 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 above, and back, that's a graphic form of the cross in music.
But it's not like a specific notes like the Bach.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
That's just like the precursor to the BACH.
No. Okay. Good, Jacob. Yeah. What did I give you next?
The like is the heart.
Good. Good choice.
I
Hey, we're gonna take a break. What's this?
Did you really sit down and for each of us go, this piece will like push through to these things?
Of course, I always do. I even guessed for the first 2 rounds. I guessed at what the levels would be according to like what your, where you are in school, what your major is, whether or not I think conducting has that in any focus or no focus. Yeah, of course I do.
Oh, I mean, I figured you did first. I wasn't sure like how much.
Yeah, but now I'm not guessing anymore because I know you. So now I'm making really specific decisions. Okay, let's take a short break and we'll come back. And maybe it's muffin time.
Do you have a muffin?
Is it muffin time?
Always muffin.
What are they? Oh, that's too good.
I like Yeah, I should rearrange my house to be able to take this. I couldn't take it all last year. No all skills. Now I'm teaching it at 9 a.m. Specifically, so I can take this class. By the way, Jacob, I got in the mail, I haven't picked up yet, the Steve Weiss now.
Oh, yeah.
I guess on Monday, so it could be faster now.
Oh, to be honest, I forgot you.
Oh, really? One day you would need it to play some of them.
Well, right, exactly. It's like there'd be one moment where. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Is it working well for?
Oh, well, I like it. My composition.
That's pretty short,
When I
Joe.
played it first, because I already made it. He's like, oh, what do you want to less like 5%? I was like, the whole reason I have this connection with me to the piano is to sound similar to the
That's so funny. That's so true.
I don't want it to sound like a separate instrument. I want it to sound mine. This is all where the pianist hits.
Jackie thought it up and thought it was funny.
Using a piano. That's okay. No, there are plenty of pianos in here that aren't really good for anything but that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't disapprove. He only approves of the pianos.
You use the proper beat, that's not gonna do it. Yeah, that's why I use percussion now. For someone who's like a hard no, I'll tell you to do that. I still think that was the best sound.
More use time condemned pianos.
I mean, there are brass.
I know, but that was they'll never let you play, so you'll never be able to have this played. As it is, I'm already. I don't know, the only thing I think would be controversial, yeah, is that's putting like beans. Oh, I just put it all. That's not bad.
It's like basically standard at this point.
If it was the same as that,
Have you played much contemporary music?
No, I have to play, for singers who try to tell me that Rossini is good music, so I have to work on that instead.
wow, the shade you're showing.
Wow.
I know who you're bringing a shade at too.
Yeah, Rossini.
No, but I know the exact singer you're talking about.
It's a whole swath of them. It's all of them.
Does that actually count?
It's stupid as shit. It's the worst music.
And it's obviously it's really important to singer like good vocal health.
It's not good music.
Yeah, I don't even credit.
I know, and it's terrible because it's all garbage. And it's, people try to tell me that it's one of the most accessible genres
Yeah.
for people who like don't, but like people, and I've never found that to be true. And my roommates have said the exact same thing about how the exact opposite happens because it's so rooted in convention and tradition.
It's so awkward, it's like they're just like massive fancy notes.
Right, exactly. And the text is subservient, the plot is subservient. It's not accessible at all. It's
I didn't thought that would be accessible.
when it's an argument that people constantly make because it's such easy listening, and I'm like, this is bullshit.
When you guys
I mean, they're filming chess.
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't know if people were
I
curious about that one.
It was so good.
Norma is one of the other that have a lot of problems with the form if you hear that stuff in my no, they only announce like it's all whether they're ever available. Some,
And like, it's for the big shows specifically that they're already popular, like something 20.
Oh, I know, it's kind of the day before.
No, because the thing is, that's only done for No, Belcanto.
They did make that.
They offer Belcantos. No, Belcantos.
Oh,
No, Belcanto. Social semi style is bad. Like, but it says Rossini. Didn't know that. That's why you're music educator. I don't know any of it, and you do nothing but scream at children all day.
That's all I do. I make children hate music.
Dang it, you're the reason. I knew it. It's a good book. I still don't. Like, I still actually don't know how you have a voice.
This would be one.
After like we talked through all that like horrible voice track and stuff, you're like, yeah, it's hard to keep under 400. I was like,
Put it up on the wall.
Well, in the day, I was like not.
Yeah, they have like puzzles.
oh,
Put them up.
Yeah.
Like there's.
No, I understand, but it's just like, oh, Jesus, I
She
never thought about
does
that.
puzzles. She's really into like
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
pictures of like cool animals.
Oh, okay.
No, just like but she's like really into like puzzles, like cool pictures of animals.
was getting that. I'm like, I was so bummed because so when I went to Adv Conducting,
we just
they
have
were
one more
supposed
Renaissance?
to do, they were supposed to do main stage thing, and they canceled it because Susanna Phillips decided.
Wait, you haven't gone. Okay, I think you're it.
So we're about like 20% of the way through puzzles.
Well, no, but I was
And then we just really, really hard written. What do you do?
My name, Maria.
I mean, they canceled it.
Can we start at C?
Yeah.
Just to do something.
Sure.
Ave Maria at C, page 4 of the music. It's tucked with a T at the end, yes?
Yes.
Does that need to stay the same? So would it going from C to D? Like, is it the quarter note, or can it change tempo slightly?
So so the question is whether the top remain, and this is a question for every piece of music you look at. Does the top half note stay the same? Therefore, 3 quarter notes in the time of 2, or does the quarter note itself stay the same? If we're going Ave, in this case, I would probably go with a quarter note. G da da, D da da, T dum T da da, dum 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 dum. So, but you could easily. I don't actually remember the mensuration for this, but if you're going which is certainly a more joyful dance-like thing, and of course, dance influences all of this music.
Right.
So what were you going to do?
I was probably going to keep the quarter note. Actually, I hadn't really thought about it until just now, and I was like, oh, I wonder if they should if it should match up. Because I was just sort of like
going on instinct. Don't go on instinct. Okay.
learned that from.
Use the quarter note for now. Use the quarter note for now, and we'll see if you feel like it's too slow.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Cool. Let's just give it a shot. Letter C.
Now let's just do that once again, because we haven't sung this, so
Yeah.
we're just getting used to it. Okay.
Questions. So I was looking when I was looking at this, I found a couple different versions, and each version had a different text setting. How do you make a decision on which edition you would use for specific text setting? Because I saw, like, for example, I found one version where Facunditas, where the basses, the D was on the F sharp, not the G. It's like some small things, but also there were some where like entire words were like melisma, or melismas instead of set multiple times.
going to take back what I said. No questions. No. Finish your questions.
There'll be no.
I ruined it for
It's
everyone.
like-
Sorry.
You either have to pick an edition that you trust. I would take an edition and I would compare it to the collected works, because the collected works most of the time tells you what the variations are on the extant various part books, and even probably first editions when they were put into score and published. Because otherwise you have to become your own scholar and go back to the original sources and make all those decisions, and that then means that that's what you become as a Josquin scholar, because that's how much work it takes. So so my suggestion is that you choose a source that you know has done the work. But the problem is that in different source materials, they appear different ways. And there are lots of these pieces, not this one in particular. I mean, Josquin was a very, very, very famous person in his time. He was a celebrity. And so, of course, he had the finest part books available, and copyists to do the work. But lots of these pieces, they have like all the notes, and then they have the text at the very beginning of it, and there's no text underlay at all. You're supposed to make it up. I don't know how they did it. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's the answer to the question. It's not like there's no particular answer, because it depends on what the pieces and all that stuff. And I'm not a Renaissance scholar, so yeah. The nice thing, I had this wonderful teacher, Alexander Ringer. Maybe you've read some of his books. He has a fantastic book called Schoenberg. I think it's called Schoenberg as a Jew. It's a really, really wonderful book about Schoenberg's life and how this struggle between priest and prophet showed up in all of his work. And I had him at Illinois, and one day he said, he was asked a question, and his vast knowledge was extraordinary. And yet he looked at this person and said, the entire reason to get a doctorate is so that you can spend the rest of your life saying, I'm sorry, that's not what my doctorate said. So,
That's hilarious.
So I know a lot about Renaissance music, but I am not a Renaissance scholar. All right, let's give it another shot. We were sort of tripping over these types of things. Okay. Yep.
See?
Yes, it's. Oh gosh, a 3/4 was running in my mind. That's one section.
Good. Let's go back and do that much again. Okay. I want to say two small things. Okay. One is, as we get to know it better and can watch you a little bit more, can you? Your gesture is so clear. It's really good. Can you get your breath to have that kind of, like, put it this way, you're not really carrying the sound.
No. I'm holding my breath.
Yeah. And as a result of that, we are kind of like, we're not, and again, we're a tiny little chamber choir. Some of us are singing parts that aren't our parts, you know. But even so, when the conductor does that, the people in the sections don't think about like my neighbor, because there's not an invitation to become the same person in a way. That's a weird thing to say, but that, okay. So let's leave it at that, because I want to see you do D again before I say the thing that I was going to say. Okay. Good. All right. Can we just go back to the sections of the basses and tenors? Nostra. Yeah, it's better. It's better. You know, it's funny because you do this thing right before they start to sing, that you stop. You kind of stop the breath instead of going. Yeah, sorry. Nostra. No, it kind of goes like this. No, see it? And you do it for the ladies too. And I'd love for the in to be coming out. Nostra. Yeah. Try it. Okay. Can you see what the tenors ones? Yeah. That. Do it again. That has to feel different.
Let me try it again.
Okay. You have to look at the video. You have to look at the video right there. It's like remarkable.
Okay.
And it's subtle, but it's so much better. Yeah. Can you do that without singing?
I don't know. Let's see.
Okay. So you are singing. You're just not actually singing out loud. Okay. Good.
Lost a little bit.
Yeah, and you know it's funny because you did lose it a little bit, and how I know that is because the very, very good definition of where it really dances and how to get us to do that, which is great, becomes more jerky. And instead of us dancing around, when you did it, when you were singing, you went, but when you're not singing, you go.
Yeah.
It's not as vocal. And these are subtle differences, but they're big. For us, they're big. It's the difference between going, and yeah. So let's go back and do it again. Yeah. Good. You are able to identify it. That's great. So you changed where the beat was, and these bastards behind me decided to like make a point about it.
Okay.
We gotta keep minus toes. Good, good. Yeah, let's go on. Yeah, good. Yeah, so I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
Why so much attention to beat 2?
It's tenors.
Yeah, okay, great. So, good. Can that be... What's happening is you're giving so much sweep to beat 2. Now, I'm getting really technical here.
Yep.
You're giving so much sweep to beat 2 that that the primary... So we're into the meter is off 1 beat, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're in 1 meter or metric downbeat, and the tenors are in another metric downbeat. Okay, so what's happening is you're giving so much attention to beat 2 in the tenor that we're not actually hearing the primary downbeat. If you go if you give this a little more pulse and then give them attention, I think you can get much more. I love this, and I can tell you this. I love the fact that he set these off. You know, it's just such a, again, 4 parts, not a lot going on. You know, and you have magic. You know, so I think just making sure that we do have that yum
To make that dance.
and we hear that, and then we feel the next, the downbeat of beat 2. Okay? So there's 2 downbeats. Okay, one happens as a result of a kind of into the downbeat 3/4 time dance, and the other happens as a result of attention and somewhat a sweep. Okay. Okay.
Just right on there.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Now, just out of curiosity, let's do the other mensural relationship, okay? And so we're going to do it in 1, where the top is the measure.
Yeah.
And the reason I suggest it is because I want everybody to experience what the difference in the dance is, okay? It's interesting that there's that this goes into 3 here, because 3 is usually in some way, not usually, but often in some way referred to the Trinity. But this is about cleansing. This is about you have the word immaculate purification and cleansing all in this little tiny bit of stuff, you know. So I just bring it up because it's interesting that he chose to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's so idiomatic for the words Avi Verab, it feels so idiomatic. Although again, he extends the word. He extends the Ra, which is interesting as well, also because it is Avi Verab Virginitas.
Yeah.
Immaculata Castivitas. I don't know, whatever.
While we're kind of at that stressing thing, in grouping of threes and twos, do you take into consider rests or no?
Mm-hmm.
So like if altos start on beat 2 or beat 3, do you take into consideration the rest comes prior to that? Do you know what I mean?
You mean the tenor note here, the tenor stuff here, or?
I just kind of threw out. I'm trying to think if I had like a specific example. But I guess, yeah, like if it's, would it be 2 and then 3 for tenors, and you ignore the quarter rest?
Yes, I think you do, yes.
And then, is it in twos? Virginita, like, or
no, it's the exact same thing as everybody else. It's just off one beat. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and the 3 there is the rest.
Yeah.
So in that way, yes.
Cool.
So it's for the rest. It looks like it's 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but it's not. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Putting the stress on Ra of Vera.
Yeah. I mean, it literally is.
That's what confused me. Because I'm like, but it's Vera, so why would the same thing? Why would it be Vera?
Right. You can sing the piece with the tenor on the downbeat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it literally is just shifted to the right one beat.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do that. Tenor, start on the downbeat with us, okay? So you're shifting one to the left. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. Let's keep it in the quarter notes.
In the corners now. Okay. So right on D.
Right. Now let's shift it back. Put it back where it belongs. Hi, Stockton.
Oh my god.
He's appeared.
Whoa.
Okay, right at D.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Let's try it in one.
Yeah, let's try it in one.
From Nostra, the Gentleman, second system. Like, where?
Yeah. Yeah. But it's interesting because it really does dance, and
Yeah.
you could easily make that decision to do it.
Yeah. It's harder to micromanage.
It
that
wouldn't
can
be
a
once
good
you've listened
thing.
to it a couple of times. I think it would. Plus, you don't want to micromanage, you know.
Right, because the tenors will feel that naturally. Hopefully.
I think it's true, and then we have a more natural like inflection to the beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we go on?
Sure. Right at E.
Yeah, because that would be lovely. Because this way we can find out how the story ends. Right?
Nice.
How about that ending?
That was very nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, that's great. Now, so here's an interesting thing. You naturally sang an F sharp in 140. You add a ficta
Dur.
at the big,
On the T.
Oh,
yeah. But it probably shouldn't. That's a hard call, because the F and the B create a tritone, but the F sharp and the B create parallel fourths, right? Which is what makes the cadence so, like, it's so designed to set up this lush hymn where you're like, where the range of that hymn at the end is big. Sopranos are high, you know? So, yeah, it's bass. It goes all the way down where, you know, it's low, and then all of a sudden you have an octave higher than the tenor. The sopranos come in, and then they go all the way up. Yeah, I'm just pointing out these compositional things that I think are just really interesting and kind of brilliant. Can we start at Kuyus?
Yeah, top of the page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So altos on the and of
Good. Let's do that again. So, you know, this is also really interesting. When you think about the beginning of the piece, okay? And you see they were all in absolutely, you know, really very strict imitation. And then some people do some other stuff a little bit, you know, all this kind of stuff. And then you go to, you've gone through a whole journey here. There's a lot of text to be set. When we get to letter E, we've got a new section coming out of the 3/4. And again, we have imitation that's really pretty close at the half note. Remember that the imitation started out at 2 bars. Note. And then we go to Kuyus. So here we have Hail, Glorious One, in all angelic virgins, imitation of the half note. Then we go to Kuyus. We have a quarter note offset entrance, and then we have a unison entrance in the men. So not imitative, and also that the lower voice is dancing all over the place, and the upper voice is singing like a chant. She dance for me. So we have. It's really just a chant, right? Imitated by the tenors, and the rest of us are going. it's really it's really there's a lot to be said about it, a lot to be thought about it, about how it really should sound. And I think that actually the altos and the basses, you should get us really ramped up here. Okay, while this hymn, this chant, is hovering above us.
Yeah.
Which I think then in another way sets up the fact that in a way this kind of like reverent, prayerful thing wins, in the end, sort of. Does that make sense?
Put up a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we go back to Kuyus and play with that a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Can you do that and breathe for us?
I thought about it right before you said it. I was like, I don't
Because you do. You get. It's all here. It's all. Which is good. I mean, it's you've got a decent technique. Really, it's very, very clear.
But that's also, sorry.
Well, you just need breath in it.
Yeah, and if I knew their parts like the back of my hand as much as I know the tenor part, then I wouldn't have to. I would just flow with my breath.
Yeah, that's the thing about conducting. It's a very time-consuming thing. You do have to know everything.
Yeah.
Let's do it again, and then we're gonna finish it. No, you're not breathing. You're not breathing. So I wanna show you something about. I know you're ready for this, okay? Stand there so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I want to do the hymn at the end, okay? Try to carry the sound where I'm carrying
I see a lot of things.
Uh-oh.
It's very open. It's pretty small at times. You're here.
Well, unfortunately, I'm always here. That's the curse of my life. I'm obsessive, so that's okay. what this is what I was trying to demonstrate. None of that. So, do you know who Stephen Layton is? Have I told you the story that Stephen Layton is a very famous choral conductor? He conducts the group Polyphony, okay? And they have Hyperion Records UK gives them like this unbelievable budget to do these recordings, and he is talk about obsessive, and his recordings are fantastic because they take like 32 hours, and he'll just keep going over the same chord over and over and over again. But at any rate, I was at this master class that he was doing. Have I told you this in Rotterdam? It was the Yale. I was visiting a friend of mine from Yale. This is when I was living here, and he did this master class in Rotterdam with the Yale graduate conductors. When Simon Carrington was still at Yale, and he was trying to make a point, and he got up and he sort of pushed the woman who was conducting like off the stand. It was Erin Westman, I'll never forget, because she wound up singing the concert for a long. And he said, "Okay, now watch me." And he conducted for like 16 bars like this.
Oh God, it's like my dog Roxy.
And he finished it, and he said, "What did you see?" And so, and he's probably got, I don't like, he's a little weird to begin with, just him, so nobody's going to respond to that. No one's going to go, "Your tongue is on the side of your mouth. It was weird." So nobody said anything. And come on now, British. Come on now. And so finally, he turns to her and said, "What did you see?" And she said, "It was a little scary." It was so awesome. It was so awesome. And he kind of went, "Eye contact." And everybody in the room was like, "That's what you were trying to show?" That is not what anybody would have guessed. Not at all. It's like eye contact. Very important, he says. Eye contact. Let's see you do it. It was awesome. Anyway, that was not what I was trying to demonstrate.
Have you seen him conduct again where he has his tongue out, or you don't know?
I've never seen him conduct live, so I don't know.
Because I wonder if that's possible.
I'm after where I'm carrying the sound. That thing that keeps coming up once in a while.
Totally, my dog Roxy.
How to carry the sound. Where again, we have a whole bunch of different levels in here, and some of us are worried about this, and some of us are, you don't have to worry about this. This is good. So I don't want you to worry about that. Okay? I want you to really, really start to think about because you're a singer, and I can hear you singing that there, and you know how to sing. So how are you using that when you're conducting? Okay, and so I want to do it one more time because I'm carrying the sound in a certain place. Okay, and it changes what everybody's doing in the room. Can you try it again? I'm Stephen Layton.
No. Let's talk about it. Where I saw what it made me do was raise my sound palette.
Probably.
I felt like he was really raised in here, which helps there. But of course, this was also very expansive.
Yeah.
It was from here, but I really felt.
Probably that's because I'm going for the most in tune unison place I can find. Okay. Other comments? What is it?
I was wondering if the last note was this like the comment about not stopping time, but you were kind of moving over. I was wondering what does that achieve or what?
I was allowing.
I don't mean that in a mean
No. I know. It's very purposeful. I want that sound to diminuendo and also to kind of become more transparent as we hand music back over to the air, and the air is, then there's silence. Do you know what I mean? Like we take, like there's music all the time. It's just that like it's suddenly we engage it. You know, there's this time is there. You know, so at the end of this long piece, it's wonderful. Then we have this prayer. I want that sound. But if I stop and try to go like sing less, you guys will get caught. Okay, there'll be all this nerves about. You know, instead I keep the motion going. So we're all just singing, and I just very gently take away some of that sound. Does that make sense?
Great.
Did you notice also that in doing so, you felt like you could sing for a very, very long time? But if I'd stopped, then everybody would start thinking, oh, this is a really long note.
Yeah.
Okay? Stop.
I felt like you were carrying the ends of the notes instead of carrying beginnings.
Say that again. I was
You talk about carrying the sound of the ends of the notes and really paying attention to the ends of the notes. As much the beginnings.
Yeah. That's interesting. I don't think about it. Probably true.
Because there's energy like from the beginning of the note into the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great, because that's a part of carrying the sound.
Right.
Yeah, probably a part of it that I don't think about anymore. But yeah, that's a part of carrying the sound. Do you want to give it a shot?
Sure. Was that correct? Where you were holding it?
Yeah, I think that's true. It doesn't have to look like that. I'm just talking about like finding your body where it is.
Yeah.
And then shape it.
Okay. Big deal. You've just seen him do it a few times.
Good. It's better. Can you just be a little bit more aware of the relationship between what your lungs are doing and what their lungs are doing.
Okay.
That's a lot better, or different. A lot. Well,
that was different.
No, I mean it was a lot better, but I don't think there was anything wrong with what you did at first. It could just be better.
Yeah.
And that's a lot better because we sang more, and therefore you had greater flexibility with it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was at their mercy as much as just sort of taking the reins and allowing my breath.
Which is weird because what you're doing is you are giving them freedom to sing, but it gives you more control. Yeah. Cool. Great. Thank you. Good. Thank you. So, remind me who's like 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the next. And so you're one. You're one. And what's your piece?
The
Legacy Heart. 2. Not here. 3, not here. 4, Rejoice in the Land. 5. So who has the Magnificat? Anybody here? Wade does. And who has time? Gloriana dances.
Just to both the email that Kevin sent out with the order.
They do. And nobody here has the Gloriana.
Someone has to have.
don't know.
Oh, I also have none.
Oh wow, it's no one here.
So what's that? It's no one here? That's crazy. Okay, so what I'm gonna suggest is this. Let's not do a conducting round. Let's spend maybe 10 minutes or 5 or 10 minutes of each of you getting up and getting us to, Jacob, are you able to conduct some of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get you up, get us learning it a little bit. But we won't count this as a conducting round, and we're going to end a little early, and then we'll start with a new unit on Monday, okay? All right, great. So let's go ahead and dive into rejoicing the Lord, and it'll get us moving a little bit, okay?
Is that
Which
me?
one?
Joyce
Lamb,
Lamb.
sorry,
Just
lamb.
the Lord, like there's like
I was like, oh,
Sorry.
just rejoice.
Well, Britt has another piece for rejoicing the Lord. So.
Do you want some background, or am I saving that for Monday?
Save it for Monday, because I don't want the other people to miss it.
And I had a technical conducting question for this pickup on the last eighth note of 7/8. Should I do a whole measure and then let Chuck come in, or should I just?
I was wondering this too. Do you cue it?
Where are you?
It'll be right at the beginning.
The first pickup.
The first pickup. Should I?
Page 4, big 2.
Aren't we starting measure 11?
Yes.
Rehearsal 2.
Rehearsal 2.
Rehearsal
Right. Sorry,
2.
I thought you were at the other end of it. So what's the question?
That eighth note pickup. Should I do 1, 2, 1, 2, or should I just go?
I would just give a beat. I would.
Everyone, we're starting at rehearsal 2, by the way, if that wasn't clear. Page 4.
I would go. I would give a tick so he knows what the tempo is, but he's sure not to come in. I'd go. Okay. So in other words, I want to make sure he doesn't come in yet, but I also want him and I to set the tempo really clearly. So if I just go bum bum, there's chances are that might not happen, right? So I'm going to give him 3 bum bum, okay? But I'm going to make the first one really small so that he doesn't play.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm trying to do the choreography. So.
No, it's fine. So what I would suggest is start out by making everything a little bit smaller and more compact, and then just go like this. Watch. Okay. But only give. Think of it as 3, 4. So 3. Right. But trust him. Okay. Give him the tempo and go. Okay. Go ahead. Do it one more time, because you're still trying to give him that. You're still trying to go like this. Watch. You're trying to give him that note. He can do that a lot better than you can, because he's got a keyboard.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Good. That's the idea. What are we singing on?
Let's do D.
Okay. Great.
Some
Good choice.
Helpful points for everyone. So you're in unison in whatever octave you're in, all the way until the first time you're not in unison is rehearsal 6 on page 7. So I don't know if we'll even get that far, but just pointing that out. So trust those around you, and yes, really focus on the rhythms. Let's stop. It's because we're just lost. Let's do it again. Let's go again. Okay? Good start. Okay? Yeah. From the beginning?
Yeah. Can I suggest to learn it that we go ahead and take it a little slower?
Okay.
Okay? Because what's happening is we're just going down. Okay, and then we all like just reset. Okay. That's okay. You're doing a really good job. Okay.
I think I'm so used to doing it at the full speed that feels
Right.
really odd.
But this is good because we are learning.
Oh
Okay?
yeah, this is a tough piece.
Can I suggest we go back to 2 to the 6, 8 before 5, and his creatures for a reward eternal.
Okay.
Okay, let's start there. So stop. You're doing a 3 instead of a 4 there.
1, 2, 1, 2.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess something kept happening here.
Yeah, you can start wherever you want.
Let's start at the same spot, though. 6,
Okay.
8, and his creatures for reward eternal. I love doing this piece because it just, even the best musicians look like imbeciles. I have one question also. Right where we stopped, it's marked by the notation as 2 plus 3, but I felt like it was better to do 3 plus 2 because then you.
Where are you? On
So
10?
last measure, 5, 8, right before we rehearsal 9. Right where we stopped. 5, 8. We're in 5, 8, right before we switch to 3, 4, and things are a little less.
Oh, you mean he's grouped it with the
The way he's grouped it.
Yeah, you can do anything you want.
Okay, I'm gonna do 3 plus 2 there. So where would you like to go from? Maybe this last page, or even further back?
Where did you say?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Just from
Interesting.
7.
Bottom 7. What's else?
All right, let's do the top of
Huh.
7.
It's a very good point.
I just felt like if I 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then you're right on it.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, rehearsal 5, page 7. Oh.
All right, should we go back and try it at tempo? Maybe not words yet.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
From the beginning.
Yeah, we're yeah.
Having fun now.
Yes.
All right.
Beginning?
No.
Rehearsal
When we say
two.
For the beginning, it's always rehearsal two.
Okay.
That's okay. Let's stop the two. So you'll have to count in the rests. Just pointing that out. Good, let's do it again. So why I gave this piece is because one of the things that we need to work on is ictus. Okay? So I want you to be careful that when you go to the 6/8, you don't start going like this. You keep it going. A lot of ictus. And that size of beat is great.
Yeah, I was trying to do very small for these, the 6/8.
But give it a lot of point.
A lot of point.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, good. Why don't we go back to 3? Great. The 8/8 bar is giving you a little problem there. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. Good. Let's put words on it on Monday. Okay. And what I want you to work on is like literally disciplining yourself to make the box this big and put all the energy right here.
Even when it's forte? Because I was trying to be the, you said I need more. So I said, do more. And then...
So give us this kind of breath. Give us energy. But if you start going big like this, we're going to slow down. Okay? The bigger the gesture, the more space there is to fill. Yeah?
So on a piece like this where it's so metrical, you're saying that you can't really have room for these big gestures?
I would say
Or
that,
is it just...
yeah, I would say that when we're really, really forte, I would be down here going, ya, ya, da, di, da, and not, ya, ba, da, ba, da, because the minute we see this, we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's all this space to fill. Okay.
Can I maybe try part of it again and applying what you're saying
Yes.
about?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anywhere in particular you'd like me to go?
Well, let's go to 7, where it's really, where we have a great big moment, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Rehearsal 7, page 8.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Just try it again. Okay.
I don't know. I was leaving a whole bar.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yes. So that's better. Now you have to like retrain yourself because that's a different way of thinking about it.
Right.
Then just bake. Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay, we'll put the words on it on Monday. Okay. And Jacob, you want to lead us through Legs of the Heart?
That's fine. Now for something.
Yeah.
Right.
Good at the same.
Lead to the.
This is it's also I tried to do like theory chord stuff and I was like, oh,
It's Howells, don't
Not
try to do it on
happening.
Howells.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously tenor bass, soprano, also you work together to hold it up to the range. So yeah, that is the thing.
Why don't we, when we're only in two parts, let's have everybody sing everything. Oh, I see. So I thought the soprano is.
No, it's just meant for the whole first to be.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep.
We'll get some coffee.
Yeah, written the same year. Huh? How about that?
These two.
In the same country. Yeah.
Um,
My soul is athirst for God. Even for
Yeah, I don't know if you would conduct out the last.
I wouldn't conduct out
Yeah,
the fermata.
I don't really know why there's a second.
Because do the math.
Just for how long it's supposed to be
Yeah,
held.
it is
Okay.
extraordinarily long.
Okay.
And it's on purpose. And you're still in a lento assai that has followed a ritardando, that has followed a rallentando,
Yeah.
that has followed a dolce et ardente. We are really slow, and that fermata is extraordinary. Of course, it doesn't work on the piano. You know, you need the organ for it to really sustain at that level. Notice that there's a caesura in the 3/2 bar.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's a lift before beat 3. Yeah. The other thing is, in English music of this era, all these ties to the 8th notes. There's an example right here at the very end. And the last thing that we have is a tied 8th note. It doesn't actually mean sing through the 8th note and have a feminine ending. It means that's where the consonant goes.
Okay.
It's just an agreed upon thing about music of the era.
Okay.
I'm sorry, so the D of God will go on that last 8th note, or the 8th note?
The D of God would just go we would cut off on beat 4.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So that is true then. Say of like lots of little things. For example, on page 6, Brooks and the women comes off on the downbeat. God and the men comes off on the 4th beat. All that kind of stuff. Okay. So go through your score and just get an idea about where those end.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
What is there a specific time and place where
I think it was like the Stanford Perry people that started to do it. Britain, I think most of the time we don't treat Britain that way. Past that, I don't think we do. But pretty much in house. I don't always do it in house. I don't do it in taking notes for cherishing, for example. I use the actual lengths of notes because it's so late. 64, 60, yeah, right, because it was a response to JFK. Anyway, I'd say anything between 1900 and 1950, you can plan on that. British. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the other thing is to think a little bit about how you sustain really long notes, especially when they're forte. Especially when they're forte, because it's scary. You get like there's like the big one. Page 4, second system, last bar, where we got 8 beats, really loud singing. It has to have a big D at the end of it. Also off on the downbeat. How do you do that? How do you get underneath that sound? So, but you have a great feel for the piece.
In the 2/2, measure page 6.
Yeah.
Would you conduct that in 2 or in 4? Because of how similar it is to the beginning, it didn't seem to make sense to do it in 2 at the beginning. But I don't know what the motivation was for making it in 2.
So most of the time when composers do that, they're talking about harmonic rhythm. As you can see, the harmonic rhythm at the beginning of the piece works in the same way. Maybe it has something to do with this free variation. So we have the theme comes back as it was, like as the heart desires, a little bit in the same voice and everything. Then we have a free variation over the top of it. It's an ornamented sort of chant-like thing. Maybe it has something to do with that, but no, I would absolutely do it in 4.
Okay.
And then we're going to work a little bit with breath. Okay. Great. Okay. Good class, everybody. Happy with that. And Monday, I'm going to talk a little bit about Hereford, not too long. And then we'll come back to these 2 pieces and get going on the other stuff.
For the Hereford, you might address this on Monday, but if we need help, are there resources that you would recommend?
I think that between that article and what I will explain tomorrow, I think you'll have a pretty good idea of it. Okay, but we, bring your questions to class so that, because if you have it, I'll bet more than you have it. Okay. Cool.
It's been a long time since I've been music history.
I know.
Had it recently.
Did Kevin talk to anybody about the equipment?
No.
No.
He'll probably
I assume he was gonna come back at noon to get it.
At 1
to get it is what I assume he would do.
Okay. Okay. Because he's working at the library, so I wasn't sure whether he's gonna break it up. Let me text him next.
It's just gonna be here for like the rest of the day. And eventually
Yeah.
it'll become part of the place and people will forget it never belonged to one person.
I was wondering if you had any other suggestions besides like not having such big gestures.
Yeah, I think it really, no, they're so good. Oh my God. Yes, I think that you should practice with.
Okay, like what you're doing with Brett earlier.
Yeah, we're looking at really wait. Oh, yeah. That's why you're because you have to take something else.
Because you're also then telling me to be doing more, so I guess.
In other music.
Not such big.
But one of the reasons that we're having a little bit of, that we're having some challenges there is because there's a little bit of disconnect between speed and ictus. So you really get in contact with what that means, okay? Okay.
What?
Yeah, I would.
I'd like to get comfortable enough that I don't enjoy looking at the music so much.
That's one of those pieces. Hey, with multimedia music, I do so much of it.
Yeah, but eventually I'll just start lying.
There's no, I don't have time to.
That's probably.
Just say like I've always booked something.
Because otherwise, if you screw up, everybody screws, right? Okay.
You know, that was really helpful. I'm glad I had like a little trial run.
Yeah.
Is available for my lessons, and I'm like, oh, then maybe we should work on that stuff so you get a quote, not standard.
That's
you can also a voice you can do it.
That's awesome.
So every week, what's his name? Eric. So it won't be every week, but I'll let you know on a weekly basis which ones feel like
Totally fine.
just because I was like, oh, that works out. Maybe this would be something to do.
You're supposed to
Are you playing for
Sam.
yes. I'm probably going to be
Why not?
because like, I want to wait for this cycle. But I probably want to go over the office.
Alright, cool. See if you let me play the post.
Huh?
We'll see if she lets me play the post.
I'm gonna like tell her like she needs to.